This episode, holiday gifts, using your skills to create meaningful presents. Well, the holiday season is almost upon us. We're doing this show a little bit early because you're going to need the lead time to create some magnificent gifts, basically. But what better time for spreading joy, and what a better way to do it than to create something truly unique with your own skill set, basically. As a handyman, you've got all of these things that you've learned how to do. Why not put it to good use this holiday season and make some meaningful, lasting gifts? Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. And to help me explain, I'm here with my ever-cheerful co-host and old buddy, Johnny. Johnny, what is going on this week? Yeah, use your skills.
Use your skills, Larry. Yep. Everybody out there that's been watching this for a while, come on, guys, you can... Let me adjust this down here a little bit. You guys can do some holiday stuff here, and that's what Larry'd like to talk to you about today.
Thanks, John.
Not to hang you out.
I know you're hanging me out. Hey, but before we get into that, we want to ask you to please like and subscribe to our stations, both on YouTube and on the podcast, if you could. It really helps the algorithms. We're really trying to grow our subscribership. And to do that, we need you to hit, if you're watching YouTube, down in the right-hand corner there's a little subscribe button. If you'll hit that, we would certainly appreciate it. We'll hopefully bring you lots of good content. We'll get into more on how you can help create some of that content. But back to our show, Johnny.
We need you to hit smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
And subscribe. Yeah.
And subscribe. Yeah, do please subscribe. We really, really appreciate that. So we just wanted to explore. This came about because I was contacted by a customer. This technically wasn't for a holiday gift, but this was... By the time I get it done, it'll probably be the holiday season. No, it'll be done before that. But I was contacted by a customer to build a little bench they have a 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old son who loves to do science projects. And particularly he's heavily into bugs. And his mother is tired of having the young man bring bugs into the house. So she wanted me to build just a small little wooden bench that he can do his science experiments on outside. And I started to build this bench, and I've got lots and lots of pictures, and we'll show some of those pictures in a little bit. But John and I got talking about it, and we're like, man, that'd be a great gift to give somebody for the holiday season, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it spawned this show, right, John? I mean, it got us kind of thinking about things like that, right?
Yeah, it's simple things, and you guys have been watching the show long enough now that you've had the skills, you've worked with us for a long time now, listening to the show and watching.
If you haven't, you need to go back.
Yeah, and you need to go back. And the thing is when we were, I built a couple little benches. You built the little bench for the young man, and everything is it's cool when you're building your own stuff. It doesn't take very long, and then you kind of get to thinking about it. Hey, maybe I can build a couple of things like this, and with the economic atmosphere that we're experiencing right now, let's put it that way, and maybe you can save a couple of dollars, build something yourself, and it's very meaningful, right?
Well, I personally, John, you and I, we have a friend. His name is Eric Serro, and he's a tremendous woodworker. And I'll never forget, he came to me one day and he said, "What do you think of this?" And he handed me this wooden cube, and it was truly a wooden cube. And I said, "Hey, this is great." And I literally asked him, I said, "What is it?" And he takes the lid off of it, John. It wasn't a cube, it was a wooden box. And as you know, Eric. Eric is how do we want to say this? He's like, "I've got it down to the 10,000ths." I was like, in wood. And this literally, it was seamless. It was just the most beautiful thing. He said, "I'm making these for Christmas gifts." And I was like, this is a piece of artwork. Like literally his was a piece of artwork, right? I mean, you can't give of yourself better than a creative endeavor, in my opinion, because especially if it's something like that, or something even like this little bench. This young man will use this little bench. I actually have a feeling his father's going to end up using this bench as like a workbench for like using tools and things on. But he'll go through stages with this bench, because right now it'll be his science bench. Later on, this young man likes to work in the garden, and he also likes to do he has a toolkit, the whole deal. He's a interesting young man, but he'll use it for other things as well. So this is a gift that will last him a long, long time, and he'll get lots of use out of it. And I'm basically giving it to him at cost, because I can't charge my labor for it, because it's more a labor of love than anything else. Plus, we're going to make this a video of how to actually do this build, and you'll be able to scale it and stuff like that. But there's just nothing like it. John, when you talked about your benches, you were talking about actual benches that you sat on. This one, it was more of a workbench that I built. So,
right. So, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to build some things for the deck, and I always struggle with things putting out there on the deck, because I've got my ideas and other people have their ideas, and
anyone we know.
Yeah. And so I decided to have a couple of mobile benches. Sometimes I don't like to sit in a chair out there.
Right.
I just like to sit on just a hard bench, and something I can move around, and then I've got a patio underneath outside my back, the basement. So I move these things around, and I was like, well, hey, how do you, let's build some of these things, and
yeah.
Full, disclosure is I found this on YouTube, and you can build these things out of, 2 8-foot 2x4s.
Right.
I'm thinking, well, hey, each bench is, what, $14 or whatever it comes out to be, on these things.
And we'll post
and
then
pressure treated wood, right?
Yeah. We'll post this up, folks, so you can take a look at John's build on this one too. This is a really, really simple one. I'll tell you, one of the other uses, Johnny, for your benches, or believe it or not, is if you have two like of the fold up benches or fold up chairs, that you carry with you, you can use your bench as a coffee table in between.
Yeah. No, absolutely. These are, these kind of things are just, I'll just punch it up right now. And it's just, you'll see it. These are back to back. I built 2 of them,
right?
And one of them resides in another place. One of them resides on my upper deck there. But, I love these things, and
simple, inexpensive, and a gift that's very, very usable. We are focusing a little bit on wood here. We just want you to understand, if you have skills in metal, or you have skills in plastic, or I have lots of skills in foam. Not that I would make anything out of foam for somebody, but I might use my skills in foam creation to make something out of fiberglass, because you use foam as a fiberglass mold a lot of times. But take what we always talk about.
I'll just walk you quickly through this, and I'll show you how easy it is, and we can post up some other things on this, but you guys out there will get it if you're watching this, is that you've got the legs, and then you've got the top. The top is just one 8-foot 2x4 cut in 3 equal sections. The legs are like 14 3/4 inch. There's 4 of them, and then the spacer in between here is 9 inches. If you add all that up, that's another 8 foot.
Right.
So it comes out perfectly. I just diced it up with my miter saw, just cut it up and started to screw the whole thing together, and boom. And you're basically done. It took me, the second one took me like 45 minutes to do.
Right. Right. Yeah. Really simple. And that's part of our thing, saving time, money, and aggravation. Right. So we always like to put forth ideas that are easy.
Yeah. And then you got a couple of benches. So, there you go. Now this might be something that you guys want to do,
what we're trying to do is open your eyes up to some of the possibilities of the things that you can do. I mean, you can do things, you can make ornaments, right? You can make them out of wood, plastic, whatever. You've got the skills. You can do picture frames. You can do, coasters. John and I, we talk about making coasters out of LVP, where you take scrap LVP and use that and make coasters for people. They by the way, folks, they work really well. But you can customize some of this stuff and make it to where it's really, really nice. You could make a jewelry box, cutting boards. I always say give a gift of your time. As a handyman, give yourself out. right?
I'll give you another example of what I did. I guess this was a couple years ago, and I'll bring this up. And you can find. Matter of fact, I just saw these in a store, and these are the old. If you guys remember a long time ago that they had those combinations for doors for your mail, and you can still find these combination type of things for like apartments and things like that. And I
Okay.
built these little boxes out of oak, and they become piggy banks
Yeah,
basically.
sure. Sure.
So, you can drop your coins and whatever, dollar bills, whatever you want inside here. And, and it was just, boy, you can just, these little things, this little door here is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I cleaned this all up, and got it all, nice. And it was just, I have found these now, and people are like, what the hell are those things? And I'm like, well, those are the old post office doors for like apartments or, those buildings. And I remember seeing these when I was a kid, like in Chicago and stuff downtown. Sure. And stuff. So, for the mail, and I just started to cut them out and
John's repurposing.
And you make these little banks out of them. And I did this for a Christmas present. I guess it was a couple years ago for people, and, voila, there you go.
Well, and back to kind of some of our things about, we always say saving time, money, and aggravation. If you have extra materials, this is a good use of some of your extra materials, or in this case, salvage materials, where John's found some of these mailbox fronts, and he in turn is actually taking and reusing them and making something that's truly unique. That's a truly unique gift that is, Johnny, if you want to make one for, your co-host, I certainly wouldn't mind having one. It's pretty nice. Just saying. It's just a hint. But anyway.
Yeah, and guys, by the way, if you haven't tried Wipe On Poly, try Wipe On Poly. It's really good.
Yeah.
Instead of the spray stuff. Anyways, I digress.
Anyway, yeah, we're not going to dive into deep dive into the actual
we're not going to
builds.
dive into the detail. But if you guys want, email me. And the other thing I'll say right now while I'm thinking about it is, anybody out there that's got ideas, send them in. We'll share them out, and
we'd love
on
to share them
Facebook
out
and stuff. Because I
Sure.
think when Larry and I were talking about this, I was like, man, this is a great idea. Use the skills that you have, and
there's millions and millions of items. Johnny, throw up some of the pictures of my little bench there. I just want people to see. I'll just quickly describe what's going on. So that's the bench. I think this one sits 28 inches tall. It's not very high, but I used 2x3s. I could have used 2x4s. I only did it because I actually had to buy the lumber. This bench in total cost me about $25 tops. Now I have not finished it, so you got to add paint in there and that kind of thing, but paint or varnish or whatever. But all it was building two legs out of just basically round, or two frames out of stock, and then adding legs to it. Took me about 2 hours, and really a nice little piece. I'm almost like, and you can scale this as well. You could go bigger if you wanted to. You can make it taller. You could make it probably not shorter, but this particular one is 36 inches wide. It's 28 inches tall. I think it's 54 inches overall height with the back on it, but the back's got pegboard on it, so you can hang stuff up on there. Tried to make it pretty versatile for them, but really pretty simple project to build. I used, if you have a miter saw, it's great. I use a circular saw with a speed square to make them nice square cuts. I happen to glue and screw these things together, which we're gonna present a video coming up. I'm actually gonna have an actual build. Yeah, it's an actual build video. I'll have dimensions and everything to where you can actually copy this up and do it, 100% numbers of pieces and all that sort of thing. So it's coming. I guess let's just wrap this one up, Johnny. Our ideas is just take the skills that you have, take what you know how to do. John, when we were talking about this show, John said, if you know how to weld, man, weld somebody up some tables, or weld a sculpture up, or do something kind of cool with welding skills. There's so many different ideas. Why not put them to use, I guess, is the goal.
Right.
And
right. And, once again, these are meaningful things, right? You actually made something. They're going to last a long time. And, 10 years down the road, it'll be like, hey, where did we get that? Don't you remember?
China.
Uncle,
oh, no.
Yeah. Uncle J.A. Pan, he built that for us. No, it was Uncle Larry. He built that for us, that kind of thing. And, I still have stuff, things in my toolbox from, my grandfather that built stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so do I. And so
it's
do I.
like, hey, I look in there sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, that's one of the few things that survived, all my moves in my life. The thing is still in my toolbox,
It's exactly the case.
So,
all right, with that, John, the spaceship has landed.
Oh yeah, man.
Do we look at it or
give it away as a gift?
or give it away?
Yeah. So, anyways, we're out of here, right, Larry?
We're out of here. If you
right.
enjoy the show, this Handyman Pros, please tell your friends and neighbors. Again, subscribe to our channels. We'd appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, it's questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. We have a Facebook page that's @Handyman Pros, and we do have a website also, handymanprosradioshow.com. If you want to leave any comments or anything. John, what else we got?
That's it, man. And I hope all you folks out there have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.